There is a power that lives in silence, a quiet force that hums beneath the surface of our noisy world. In the constant rush of voices, opinions, and distractions, it's easy to believe that being heard is the only way to matter. But sometimes, the most profound truths, the deepest connections, and the strongest voices are found not in the clamor, but in the quiet. This is a story about finding your voice in silence, a journey into the art of being quiet, and the motivation that waits for you in stillness. Imagine a young woman named Mira, who lived on the edge of a bustling city. Her world was filled with sound, the rumble of traffic outside her window, the endless ping of notifications on her phone, the constant chatter of colleagues and friends. Mira was a listener by nature, someone who preferred observing to speaking, who found comfort in contemplative moments rather than crowded conversations. Yet, as she stepped into adulthood, she began to feel invisible, a shadow at the edge of every room, her thoughts drowned out by louder, more assertive voices. For a time, Mira tried to change herself. She read books about assertiveness, practiced speaking up in meetings, and forced herself to join conversations even when she had nothing to add. But instead of feeling empowered, she felt exhausted. Each attempt to be louder left her feeling more disconnected from herself, further from the quiet strength she sensed inside, but couldn't quite reach. One evening, after a long day, Mira wandered into a small park tucked away behind the city's high-rises. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. She found a bench under a tree and sat down, letting the silence wrap around her like a soft blanket. For the first time in a long while, she allowed herself to be completely still. No phone, no music, no words, just the gentle rustle of leaves and the distant chirp of crickets. In that moment, Mira realized how rarely she allowed herself to simply be, without the pressure to perform or participate. In the days that followed, Mira began to seek out silence intentionally. She woke up early to watch the sunrise, savoring the hush before the city came alive. She spent her lunch breaks in quiet corners, observing the world around her. She started journaling, pouring her thoughts onto paper rather than into conversations. With each silent moment, she grew more attuned to her own inner voice, a voice that was gentle but steady, soft but certain. As she cultivated this practice, Mira discovered that silence was not emptiness, but a space for reflection and growth. In quiet, she could hear the stirrings of her own ideas, dreams, and desires. She learned to trust her instincts, to listen deeply before she spoke, and to speak only when she truly had something to say. Her words, once rare and hesitant, became measured and impactful, each one carrying the weight of thoughtfulness and intention. Mira found that her presence in meetings became more powerful, even though she spoke less. When she offered insights, people listened. Her friends began to seek her advice, drawn to her calm perspective. She became a grounding force in her family, the one others turned to in times of stress. Through silence, Mira found her voice, not the loudest in the room, but the one that resonated with clarity and purpose. The art of being quiet is not about withdrawing from the world or hiding from challenges. Rather, it is about recognizing that your value is not measured by the volume of your voice, but by the authenticity of your words and the depth of your presence. In a society that often equates noise with importance, it takes courage to embrace stillness, to find confidence in restraint, and to let your actions speak louder than your words. There is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing yourself, from understanding that you do not need to shout to be heard or to fill every silence with speech. Instead, you can listen to others and to yourself, creating space for understanding and empathy. You can observe, learn, and reflect, allowing your insights to mature before you share them. And when you do speak, your words carry the weight of your attention and care. Mira's journey is a reminder that finding your voice does not always mean making more noise. Sometimes it means listening more closely to your own intuition, to the needs of those around you, and to the world unfolding in each moment of quiet. It means honoring your natural temperament, trusting that your unique perspective is valuable, and giving yourself permission to grow in your own way. In the stillness, you may notice things you missed before, the subtle shifts in a friend's mood, the beauty of sunlight filtering through leaves, the clarity of your own thoughts. You may find that silence is not empty, but full of possibility, not a void, but a vessel for growth. By choosing when to speak and when to listen, you shape your own narrative, becoming the author of your story rather than a passive participant in someone else's. The art of being quiet is a lifelong practice, one that requires patience and self-compassion. There will be times when you feel pressured to conform, to amplify your voice just to fit in. But in those moments, remember Mira's discovery. Your voice is strongest when it is true to you. The world needs many kinds of voices, some loud and passionate, others calm and contemplative. There is room for all of them, and there is power in each. So, if you find yourself feeling overshadowed or unheard, take heart. Seek out moments of silence, not as an escape, but as a homecoming. Use the quiet to reconnect with your values, your dreams, and your purpose. Let your actions reflect your intentions, and let your words, when you choose to speak, be like stones dropped into still water, creating ripples that reach far and wide. In the end, finding your voice in silence is not about being less, but about being more present, more aware, more authentic. Embrace the art of being quiet and discover the strength that lies within you. Your voice, no matter how softly spoken, has the power to inspire, to comfort, and to change the world, one moment of silence at a time. If this story made you pause, even for a moment, to think about what truly matters, then maybe, like me, you're ready to stop chasing and start living. If it touched you, feel free to like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that help us grow together.